People think of cutting out food and drinks for a detox. An emotional detox can actually be just as helpful. And Nicole Turner, aka the detox strategist, says that a relationship detox can help you rid yourself of emotional toxins. And she's here with the 7 ways to help you detox your relationship and really know when to let go. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me
Well,
on.
thanks for coming in. And I think, we talk about detoxing all the time, and I've done the juice cleanse, and you think about physically detoxing and, getting the toxins out of your body, but having a toxic relationship can really be just as detrimental.
Absolutely, because being in a toxic relationship affects you mentally and emotionally, and it spills over to multiple areas in your life, and it has a great impact on your health as well.
And so when people are maybe thinking about taking stock of their relationship and maybe deciding whether or not they need to take part in a relationship detox, they should really start with themselves, not really looking at the other person.
Yes, because we're always quick to blame the other person, but we also have to assess where we are in our own issues and our flaws, and is there something that we're doing to contribute to the toxicity in a relationship.
And if you haven't addressed your own personal toxins, how will that affect your relationship?
Oh, it will be detrimental.
Okay.
If you haven't addressed your own personal inner toxin, it will cause your relationship to be combative, lack of communication, and a list of other things that will go on in a relationship that are very negative.
Okay, so I like this. Instead of 7 different ways or 7 different tips, you've broken this down into 7 different days.
Yes.
So each day you take inventory of just one thing in your relationship. And so starting with day 1, it's the personal detox.
Yes.
Explain that.
So the personal detox is just what I mentioned before, is really assessing where you are. What are the flaws and issues that you're bringing into the relationship and how they're impacting the relationship. So I usually recommend have a journal, have 2 columns, and write down, these are my flaws and issues that I know I'm bringing into the relationship. And then the second column kind of highlights strategies you can do to combat that or overcome those issues so they won't make your relationship worse.
Okay, so day 1, focus on you.
Yes.
Day 2, take stock of the relationship.
Yes, because you need to assess, is the relationship dramatic? Does it feel, we all like theater, but does it feel like a dramatic performance? We don't want to live in a dramatic relationship. So is it always intense? Does it feel like it's always drama? And if so, that relationship is pretty toxic, and you may need to assess whether or not you should stay or go.
Now, that's interesting, because I think some people might think, well, there's a lot of drama because we love hard. But that's not really a good thing.
No,
right?
it's not.
Relationships should be pretty even keel.
They should. And of course, no relationship is without issues.
Right.
It's how you handle those issues. But it always feels like a tug of war, like you're constantly fighting and going at it with each other. That's drama, and that's not healthy.
Okay, so then day 3, you have taken inventory of yourself, of the relationship, and day 3, you decide, does your communication need a detox?
Because remember, men and women communicate differently.
Oh, don't we? Oh boy. So how do you change, or how do you assess your communication?
So you need to determine, are you, we all heard the expression, it's not what you say, but how you say it. So sometimes when we're really emotional, we say things in a tone that's not received the way that we intended it. So it's good to take stock of, how are you communicating with your mate? Are you communicating in a loving way? Even though the subject may be kind of a bad subject, but how are you delivering it? How are you guys interacting and communicating with one another?
Well, and also, you mentioned things aren't being perceived the way you intend them. I think with social media these days and with people communicating just over text message, a lot is lost. I say a lot is lost in textlation.
It is.
You can't tell someone's tone or their intent.
Yeah, I think sometimes text and email and social media leads to the communication issues in a relationship.
There you go. You said it. Okay. So day 4, deciding if the relationship is a 2-way street.
Well, if you're the one in a relationship that's always giving and the other person's always taking, then it's not an equal relationship. If you feel like you're always the one who's compromising and putting forth the effort, that's not a healthy relationship. There's a sign of toxicity and selfishness on the part of your partner.
This is interesting. Day 6, day 5, are you lowering your standards?
Because we all have standards in a relationship, but if you're accepting things that you know are really unacceptable to make the relationship work, that's not a good thing, because eventually you're going to have resentment, you're going to have anger, you're going to have frustrations, you're going to have feelings of abandonment, because you're like, this is unacceptable in the relationship.
All right, now this is what I wanted to get to. Day 6, is the relationship bringing out the worst in you?
See, a relationship is supposed to enhance your life and make it better. But if you find that you're having behavior that's really not appropriate, it's angry, it sometimes can be mean or evil.
Jealousy. Maybe you weren't jealous before.
Right. That means there are things in a relationship that are just not working. If it's bringing out the worst and not the best in you, that's an unhealthy relationship.
All right, and then finally on day 7, do you feel like you're in a competitive environment or in a competitive relationship?
The only time you really should be competing in a relationship is if you're playing board games or going rock climbing or your sports team are competing against each other, but you should never feel like you're competing against your mate. You should work together as a team, collaborative. It should never feel like it's a competition between you and the person you're in a relationship with.
That's really good advice. So after you get to the end of this week, the full 7 days, what would be your advice if if it's about a 50-50 on some of the things are negative, some of the things are positive, what would you say?
So if it's about a 50-50, that relationship has a chance of moving forward.
Okay.
But if the majority is on the negative side, then
Okay.
it's really probably time for you to go.
Cut your losses and
Cut
move
your
on.
losses and move on.
All right, Nicole,
Absolutely.
give us your website for folks who want more information.
So my website is detoxstrategist.com. And on that website, you have all the media outlets and ways to reach me, social media outlets. And
okay. All right, the Detox Strategist. All right, Nicole, thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.